the personnel of these gunmen, because the rate at which the marksmanship calls to question, how do these people come in? Are they Nigerians alone, or are they people who have been disengaged from the army? In fact, we need to probe more into this, because when I was stopped, and I told my driver, and I want to appeal to everybody, if you are taking hostage, please remain calm. Don't try to escape. That's when they kill. A bus behind us wanted to maneuver and escape. The driver was shot on the head in that very particular area. The driver was shot on the head and the motor skidded away and 2 people died. I understand. They told me later that the vehicle caught fire. I didn't know. Because they go there, they also have their information. The people who have like the intelligence, you need the advanced information. In fact, they told me that I was trailed a few meters from a police checkpoint. They gave them information that a jeep is coming. Their targets are mainly jeeps. It's not as if they knew me as a person. They target jeeps because they believe that once you are driving on a jeep, you must be a wealthy person. I was driving a Prado. That's the list of the jeeps. But that, from what they told me, that is their target. They look at people, and unfortunately for me that day, I think this is the 3rd time, but I wasn't 3rd time lucky. Before this time, I had twice escaped their attack on that same particular spot. But they said there was a function in Kogi that day, attended by the governor, which would in fact disrupted our movement at Okene. So they thought one of the vehicles coming from the governor's convoy was my vehicle. That's why we were attacked. And I tell you, the situation calls for serious re-examination of our security
Would you suggest that, since that's not the first time that that's happening on that road, as you say, will a joint patrol with between the police and the military along that route help in any way?
There are joint patrols on the road, as a matter of fact. There are joint patrols. There are even static checkpoints. But these people study the area. They don't have vehicles, so you are not going to pursue them. They don't have vehicles. They just come to the road, strike, take their victim, abandon the vehicle at the center of the road, and take their victims to the bush. And like I said, if police pursues them, they will kill police because they don't even account for the arms. They have a lot of arms. If you try to pursue them, you kill the victim. So the best thing is to negotiate with them and pay. Prior to this time, I had maintained that people should not pay ransom for releases because it will encourage them to continue. But I tell you, my official position should be different from my personal position for safety and security. If you are a hostage, you just have to negotiate. When you come out first, they begin to talk of investigation. But if you want to do an investigation while you are there, please, you are toying with your life. Anybody who rejects this type of advice I'm giving must be reckless with it and be ready to also bear the consequence or ignore my...
If I may come in here, I want to find out, there are several states, for instance, that have made laws and signed them into law capital punishment for those involved in kidnapping. Some states have as much as 50 years, some life imprisonment, and some the death penalty. Do you think these laws would help in any way to deter these people? And then how is it that they get these arms? Is it possible to check the inflow of arms across the country?
You see, the issue of penalties, death penalty or whatever penalty government is imposing, is only subject to the jurisdiction of that area where the locals are involved in the crime. But with the Fulani headsmen, Fulani gunmen, please, pardon me, with the Fulani gunmen who have no known base, they strike, operate go away from that environment, it's difficult to get them. And you cannot take on them in that terrain. So that makes it a very difficult situation. I appreciate, because when I came out, I understand some arrests are also being made within that area. But the level of arms, their proficiency in the handling of arms is something I think should not be discussed on television. I want to discuss with the appropriate authorities to see how we can check these issues. But the most important thing is that there is proliferation of arms in the country. And we must stand up to the truth. This time is not the time to be playing with words. At 63, I'm ready. I'm bringing out my life. I want to declare it here right away that I'm going to, even if at the cost of my life, to do anything possible to see that these people are brought to justice.
All right, let me jump in there and ask you.
I'm not a politician.
Let me ask you, from the way you've described them, you said they checked your iPad to see the kind of alert you have. It means that you have to delete those things if anybody still keeps this kind of information. And secondly, does that then mean that they're knowledgeable and enlightened?
I say these people are structured. Let me also finish what I'm saying before. You see, I had to make that point. One of my friends, a Machijne, will tell you that any day you see his poster, you know it's his obituary. So what I'm saying is that I love this country. I'm not seeking any elective office. I don't want to, but I'm ready to stake my life for this country. Coming to the question you asked, whether they are literate or not, I'm telling you that this is a well-structured body. 4 of them are highly, or let me put it, moderately educated to know what is right and what is wrong. But you also have to keep records. I agree that you delete some of these things if you don't need them. But there are some documents too, there are some data that you require to use. Should we now say we will not keep data because we cannot move freely in area? Nothing, and I repeat, nothing will stop me from going to Delta State at whatever cost. If God says that's the way I'm going to die, nobody, there's freedom of movement in this country. Nobody will stop me from moving around in this country.
We need to take a quick break. I mean, you can encrypt if you don't want to delete them. But just give us a moment. We'll be back. Welcome back, Mr. Ejiofor. Could you tell us, we're winding down now, did this happen during the day or at night, and have you reported to the police ever since?
The thing normally happens in the afternoon and not at night. Normally happens in the afternoon. The full glare. My own incident happened at about 2 o'clock. And I've made a report to the police. They're investigating. But on a note of appreciation, I must thank my friends who saw to my release. Because all I was praying for within that period is that I should come out to alert Nigerians on what is going on, that there's crisis in the land. My friends who rallied around made sure I was released. The Liberal platform, on which I've been very active in discussing how Nigeria will move forward, Voice of the People, they were all concerned. In fact, as I talk, when I came back, instead of resting, my phone is ringing 247. I cannot rest. But it's a price we have to pay, because this singular act has shown me the love people have for me. And I'm ready to reciprocate by ensuring that there's peace in this country, there's security in this country, that people will move about as enshrined in the Constitution of Nigeria. I want to thank everybody, but finally I want to thank God Almighty for saving my life. All my jewelries, everything were removed from me. I now have a new necklace, which is my rosary. I believe in it as soon as Blessed Virgin Mary. I couldn't sleep for 4 days. All I was saying is my rosary with my fingers, because they dispossessed me of my rosary. So I want to call on Nigerians to rely on prayers and be very careful anywhere they are going to, and watch your back.
All right, Mr. Mike Ejiofor, former director in the DSS. We appreciate your coming and talking about this today, and thankfully you're alive. Well, that's the show today. There you go. That's where we draw the curtains here today on the program. We thank you all for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm Chamberlain Oso.
And thanks indeed for watching. I am Gimba Umar.
Thank you. I'm Neot Ibe.